Do you remember when every living room seemed to look almost exactly the same? Before smartphones, streaming, and social media took over our lives, American families shared a world filled with objects that have nearly vanished today. It's 1985. Ronald Reagan is in the White House. Back to the Future is filling movie theaters. Kids are riding BMX bikes until the streetlights come on. And inside millions of American homes, certain everyday items were as common as the kitchen table. Today, we're taking a trip back in time to revisit 15 things nearly every American family had in 1985. Let's see how many you remember. 15. Rotary phone. Long before smartphones lived in our pockets, there was usually one phone for the entire family. It sat in a central location, often attached to the wall. If someone was talking, everyone else had to wait. No texting. No caller ID. No voicemail. Just conversations. Do you remember stretching that curly cord around the corner for a little privacy? Life moved slower back then. And while making a phone call required patience, watching a movie required even more. 14. VHS tapes. Friday nights often meant a trip to the video store. Families carefully picked a movie, brought it home, and slid the VHS tape into the VCR. When the movie ended, you had to rewind it. Forget to rewind. Someone in the family would remind you. Streaming has made everything instant. But do you remember the excitement of renting a movie for the weekend? Those simple moments became lasting memories. Speaking of entertainment, there was something else every family gathered around. 13. Console television. These weren't just televisions. They were furniture. Huge wooden cabinets sat proudly in living rooms across America. Families watched the evening news, sitcoms, and special events together. Today, TVs hang on walls like picture frames. But do you remember adjusting the antenna just to get a clearer picture? Somehow, it was all part of the experience. And if the TV wasn't on, another familiar item often was. 12. Record players. Even in the age of cassettes, many families still owned a record player. Playing music wasn't background noise. It was an event. Albums were carefully chosen and played from beginning to end. Do you remember placing the needle on the record and hoping it wouldn't skip? The world feels faster now. But music felt more personal then. Of course, records weren't the only way Americans listened to music. 11. Cassette tapes. Cassette tapes went everywhere. Cars, bedrooms, backpacks. Many people spent hours creating the perfect mixtape. Recording songs from the radio required timing and patience. Do you remember waiting for the DJ to stop talking before pressing record? Technology changed quickly. But the memories never left. And when people needed information, they didn't reach for a search engine. 10. Encyclopedias. Before Google, there was the encyclopedia. Entire bookshelves were dedicated to these giant collections. Homework assignments often started with pulling out a heavy volume and flipping through pages. Do you remember searching for answers one book at a time? Learning required effort. And somehow, that made discoveries feel more rewarding. But books weren't the only source of information. 9. Yellow pages. Need a plumber? Need a pizza place? Need a mechanic? You grabbed the yellow pages. This massive phone book sat somewhere in nearly every home. Today, we search online in seconds. Do you remember flipping through page after page looking for a business? It's amazing how quickly things changed. And speaking of things that filled our homes. 8. Wood-paneled walls. For many families, wood paneling was everywhere. Living rooms, dens, and finished basements often featured dark wood walls. At the time, it felt modern and stylish. Today, It's instantly recognizable as a piece of the past. Do you remember a room in your house that looked like this? Some trends never survived the decades, but others lasted much longer. 7. TV Guide. Every week, families waited for the new TV Guide. It told everyone what was on television and when. Missing a show meant waiting for a rerun. There were no recordings. No streaming libraries. Do you remember circling your favorite programs? Planning ahead was part of life. And family routines often revolved around television. 6. Film cameras. Taking pictures used to be very different. Every photo mattered because film was limited. You couldn't see the results instantly. You had to wait. Sometimes for days. Do you remember opening a photo envelope and seeing your vacation pictures for the first time? The anticipation was part of the magic. 5. Family photo albums. Almost every family had one. Photo albums captured birthdays, holidays, vacations, and everyday moments. They sat on coffee tables waiting to be shared. Do you remember flipping through old family photos with parents or grandparents? Those albums told stories. Stories that still matter today. And speaking of family traditions. 4. Sears Catalog. For many Americans, the Sears catalog was more than a shopping guide. It was a wish book. Families spent hours flipping through pages. Children circled toys they hoped to find under the Christmas tree. Do you remember looking through one as a kid? Some memories never fade. But one household item might be even more unforgettable. 3. Tupperware cabinets. Nearly every kitchen seemed to have a cabinet full of plastic containers. Finding the matching lid was often impossible. Yet somehow, every family kept collecting more. Do you remember opening that cabinet and having containers fall out? Some struggles were universal. And bedrooms had their own unforgettable trend. 2. Waterbeds. For a brief period, waterbeds were everywhere. They seemed futuristic and exciting. Many people thought they represented modern living. Do you remember sleeping on one, or wanting one? Few furniture trends have come and gone so dramatically. And now, let's finish with perhaps the most iconic item of all. 1. The cordless phone. Owning a cordless phone felt like living in the future. For the first time, you could walk around the house while talking. It was freedom. Today, it seems ordinary. But back then, it felt revolutionary. Do you remember checking if the battery was charged before making a long call? The future looked very different in 1985. Conclusion. These weren't just objects. They were part of family dinners, weekend routines, childhood adventures, and everyday life. Most of them have disappeared. Some were replaced by technology. Others simply faded away. But the memories they created remain.